Hey, it's Lee Kelson here from Beach City Life, and we're live again at Gold Coast Startup Weekend. And I'm here with Miles Goodings.
That is me.
Miles Goodings is a 21st century guy,
Yeah.
developer, entrepreneur, and you're a mentor here, is that right?
Yeah. So I participated last year as a contestant, and I was here with the Gold Coast Tech Space, and we actually won last year's event. I guess winners are a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm here as a mentor because I wanted to kind of give back, and I wasn't sure if I could commit for the whole weekend, so give someone else a chance.
Right. Awesome. Okay, that's fantastic. So just give us a little bit about your background and where you're from, and well, you've already told us why you're here. But, where
sure. Born in Northern Territory, moved to the Gold Coast when I was about 4 years old, never really left. Travelled a bit, lived in New York for 6 months or so, and I love the Gold Coast too much, so I came back. And yeah, it's my background is I picked up software development when I was about 11 years old and got into it. And by the time I was like 17, I had 6 years experience. So for the average 17-year-old, I was pretty employable. And I just pursued that and ended up realizing that traditional studying was not really what I wanted in life. And I picked up some business skills and worked for a lot of people. And now I'm doing my own things in life.
Fantastic. And so tell me, what are you passionate about? What sort of gets you out of bed in the morning and inspires you?
Oh, geez, a lot of things. I contribute a lot to a thing called the Gold Coast Tech Space at the moment. And one of my big things is...
Someone's just sold a $2 pre-purchase. So first revenue.
Someone's made money here tonight. Yeah. So my big thing that I really wanted was I wanted to be contributing to something, and I found through traditional employment I wasn't getting what I wanted. I started searching to build my own business, and about a year ago I had sort of a breakthrough and realized that going through building my startups was something I wanted to do, but it wasn't everything, and I found community interest. So I do a lot of non-for-profit community work at the moment, teaching kids how to use soldering irons and that kind of stuff. And honestly, that's what makes me get up in the morning. I love just doing that kind of stuff and getting out there and doing community type things, because I never really was involved in that when I was younger. So having that now as an outlet is just awesome.
Right. And interestingly, were you born in the Northern Territory?
Yeah, I was born in a little town called Catherine. Not so little now, but it was when I lived there. It's all lived there for the first 4 years of my life. I've used to travel there, a couple of weeks a year to see the parents and so on. But yeah, it's
right. Well, that's amazing, because I spent 6 years of my life living in Kununurra and ran the Order of News Agency there, and I had a company called Outback Promotions, and we used to tour bands through Catherine, and we toured bands through there from about 1987 to 1991.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. Well, 91 was when I was born, so funny enough, I would have just been there for it.
Yeah, thanks for... we hear a lot about innovation and talk about innovation. I think the word's sort of lost a bit of its currency, because what does it really mean? What does it mean to you?
Oh, geez. That's really tough. I feel like, a lot of these events have a bias towards tech innovation. Tech really doesn't matter to me. I look at innovation as... I feel like people who pursue things that interest them generally have processes and products that are truly innovative that don't really realize it. So, for example, a carpenter does a certain job, does it a certain way, builds up a set of handheld tools or whatever it is that he's used to doing. It improves his process, and sharing that with the world. They are truly innovative, and it's not really being exposed. I think the problem is we're in such a tech world these days. There's a big focus on tech being innovation. You build an app, you build this, you build that. But a lot of the greatest innovative ideas are really grassroots, primitive things, literally a new hammer. Stuff. So
yeah, right. So it's sort of more about problem solving, critical thinking, and that could go across all sorts of sectors and industries, and doesn't necessarily have to be tech.
Yeah, no, not at all. But I know the question didn't have tech as a focus for innovation, but I truly I think we've got a lot of innovative minds, but not necessarily the right path pursuing their ambitions. I know a lot of people that have drive and have self-interest, creative minds and so on, but don't necessarily realize the pathways to do it. And it might be just social norms or whatever it is, the 9 to 5 crunch and so on. But I know when I was about 22, I started having these thoughts of what am I going to do with my life? How am I going to grow as a person? What am I going to be doing in 5 years? Am I going to be still a programmer? Am I going to be having my own business and so on? And I started going to these sort of self-help group, coaching groups. I flew across the country to try a few of them out. And what I realized was no one really had the answer. And most of the people that were asking the question were in their sort of late 30s, early 40s. And I was asking it in my early 20s. And I feel like there's this pathway that we were told to do a certain thing and we follow it. But the reality is, just do what you want. You've only got a limited amount of time. Get to it quick. Realize that you don't have to follow the rules and change it up.
So life's not a dress rehearsal. Get on and do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I certainly think the modern schooling system makes it out that, got to go to uni, got to get a job, got to do this, got to do that. And I'm sure there's merit to that, right? Like, not everyone can have a luxurious life. But at the same time, don't push back other things. There's always opportunities. One of my favorite inspirations is Marco Pierre White, the chef who taught Gordon Ramsay, and he does this Oxford address. It's about an hour-long address, and he talks about all these opportunities in life where he was presented with scenarios negative on the outside, but followed them through and ended up being some of the most influential and critical pathways of his life in growth. For example, he missed a train and then missed a following bus, and this accident happened, and it ended up at putting him in front of the doorstep of his employer that he worked for 10 years and taught him everything he knew. It's
sliding door moments. So, final question: why do you think these types of events are important for the development of ecosystems and in general, I guess, some of the young people we've got here?
I think it's very hard to do a dry run of a business without starting an actual business. These kind of events give you just a glimpse, maybe not a full experience, but a glimpse at what it could be like to start a business. The average person is probably not willing to put everything on the line to go out and try a new venture. A lot of people do that, but not everyone does. And I think this gives it the general person, the general community, access to that kind of experience. And from that, hopefully, you can choose a pathway that gets you where you want and what you want out of life.
Yeah, cool. And just before you go, obviously this is Beach City life. So, favourite beach and in the world, and favourite city in the world.
Oh, geez. All right. I actually really like Main Beach. I know that's a bit sad, but it's not a very nice beach for the average person. But I love Main Beach. My favourite city is, of all things, probably Adelaide, which a lot of people think is quite a dreary and boring place, but I love Adelaide. I think it just has such a good vibe. There's a lot happening there at the moment. It's sort of like this, I love wine and I love food, and it's got a lot of that. And it's all close to it.
Adelaide gets a big from wine and food, no doubt about that. Thanks, Miles, and all the best for the weekend, and thanks for coming along to mentoring.
Thank you, Lee.